After 3 rounds of voting, the Conclave of Cardinals are at the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican. Not elected a new pope to succeed Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. Hours from now, 2 rounds of voting will continue. What will be the result? And around the world, Catholics are praying for a new pope worthy of God's blessing and graces. Joining us tonight on Newslife on the line is retired Archbishop Oscar Cruz. Good evening, Archbishop.
Good evening. Good evening.
Archbishop, so far 3 rounds of voting and no pope has been elected. Your thoughts on this?
That is expected, and it has always been much more than 3 or 5. Usually it's between 5 to 7.
Could it be the case that there's actually no real front runner?
Frankly, that we would be guessing, no? Because the ballots, who voted for whom and how many votes one got, they're all burned, you know. And they're only known to the Cardinals who are there in the conclave and nobody else.
Archbishop, if still no election, the Cardinals retired to bed, can they still discuss about the voting among themselves, and can they use their cell phones, or are they still not allowed to talk to each other?
From the time the conclave begins, all these communications to outside, from inside to outside, outside to inside, are all forbidden by law. And the transgression of this norm has a rather fatal punishment, which is excommunication. Just imagine a cardinal being excommunicated. So they're very, very careful in this oath of secrecy and absolute confidentiality.
How long do you think the conclave will take, and does Cardinal Tagle have a chance to be the next pope?
As to the first question, it is in principle all electors are eligible for election. All of them, who are cardinals who are 18. By being electors, they are all eligible. All of them, every one of them, eligible for election. Now, what are the chances of Cardinal Tagle being elected pope? We would be guessing, no? Guessing. I personally hope that he becomes the elected, but that would be hoping. In fact, even those who are well-known personalities who are cardinals, they themselves are not sure that they would be elected. So it's okay that we would pray for this or hope for that, but in the last analysis, it is the hand of God that is there. I am not a holy man, no. I am not trying to be saintly. I'm just saying the reality of the truth that conclave, God moves. Now, and that move is mysterious in the sense that we do not know where it will go and for whom, on whom it will land, and on whose favor it will be. Guess we may, but guess they remain. Guesses they remain.
Archbishop, on a personal note, do you think he will be a good pope if elected?
There is another thing here. Boy, you ask hard questions. Listen, the one who is elected pope is the Supreme Pontiff of the Universal Church, covering the 5 continents of the world, or races, color, and tongues. Okay? And not only that, the same is also the head of the state, because the Vatican is a city-state. It says Vatican City-State Europe by Geneva Convention. Now, if to keep one family together, but to hold and keep but one family together is already quite a big challenge.
Yes.
I could just imagine how it is to shepherd the universal church. Of course, he will have his auxiliaries, his helpers, his advisors, etc., etc. But in the last analysis, it's the Pope who calls the shots. And therefore, the man has really to be not only a prayerful man, but also someone who is intelligent, someone who's firm, and someone who has a foresight. Now, if these requirements are too high, I can only say that, well, God is with him, and that will suffice for him to be able to fulfill his office well.
Archbishop, to add to that, many see Cardinal Tagle as a great communicator, and youth is on his side, which the church badly needs to respond to the call of the times, and as well as cutting across all communication barriers by using social media. What are your thoughts on this?
Yes. I know the man personally. We have been together for about 5 or 6 years as members of the same Bishops' Conference of the Philippines. And I can say before God and conscience that I know personally know 3 virtues about him. First is his intelligence, which is beyond question. When he took his doctorate in theology, it was more than summa, if that were possible, but it was summa. And second, the man is very kind, very kind. I have never seen him irritated or irked or whatever. He was smiling. He was smiling here, smiling there. And third is he's very humble. He's very humble because I know for a fact that when he was a bishop, he was riding the jeep to go to one place or another. And when the driver came to know him, he did not, the driver did not charge, and he was happy he did not pay. That is Cardinal Tagle, as I know him personally.
Now, Archbishop, what challenges does the new Pope face, and especially now with the issues and scandals surrounding the Church?
Yes. There is something that Pope Benedict XVI left behind, and he left behind in the sense that the one who will be his successor would have to be the one to follow it up. Benedict XVI made a apostolic letter, which is an official papal document titled Year of Faith. Okay? Why Year of Faith? It is no secret, and even among us, much less is it a secret to the Vatican Curia, that the Catholic faith has lessened, has dwindled down in its membership. There were Catholics before who now belong to other religious sect, etc., or who just renounced the faith totally. And not only that there are lesser Catholics now, but there are also lesser practicing Catholics. Therefore, the call for the Year of Faith is to recapture the significance of faith and to practice what is believed. Now, question, how is that done?
Yes.
If I may, this is only my view, no?
Yes.
Do not take it seriously. The way I see it, the incoming Pope should might want to observe the practice that it is not the sheep who go to the shepherd, but the shepherd goes to the sheep. Again, it is not the sheep who go to the shepherd, but the shepherd goes to the sheep.
Yeah.
For example, John Paul II, oh my, he was the most traveled Pope in the history of the Church, and he was the one who enlivened the faith so very much, and he was going from one country to another. He came to the Philippines twice. And every time and everywhere he came, the faith became alive, no? And that is beyond question. So that is my personal thinking, that he should be a traveling pope, in the sense that he should meet his sheep, the Catholics, and therefore he should be healthy. He should be firm, and he should be how do you call this? Someone who is convinced of doing something.
Yes.
No, I forgot the phrase for that, but it is an agenda that one does continuously until hopefully the agenda is done.
I guess there's going to be a lot of work done for Pope. But a final word from you, Archbishop. Are you confident that the next Pope elected will have all the qualities worthy of Jesus Christ to evangelize his flock and cut through all barriers?
Yes. I am not worried about that, because the Catholic Church is more than 2,000 years old, okay, and still counting. The Church, the Church had many enemies, even in the persons of priests, bishops, and cardinals, and even popes, trying to destroy it, but it's still around. The Church, whoever fought the Church, went to the tomb first, and the Church blessed him or her. Meaning to say, it is impossible that God is not in his church, and it is impossible that Jesus Christ himself, who founded this church, will not be in the activity of the very person who represents him, which is the Supreme Pontiff of the Universal Church. So my answer is an unconditionally yes.
Yes. Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us tonight. That was retired Archbishop Oscar Cruz. Thank you, Archbishop.
Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.